You have now entered the lab, episode 103. I have to make sure as we record these episodes, I'm always checking what number we're on. I'm getting lost after we got to triple digits, but I am Elvis Escobar. He is Fort Sama. We'll get right to it. A lot of guests in the last 5 to 10 episodes, if not every other week, every week. So this will be a solo episode with just me and Fort vibing out on his birthday, well, before his birthday weekend and before Thanksgiving. We'll pay respects to the sponsors in a little bit, but what's going on with you, man? How's everything over the last week?
Everything's been pretty chilling, man. A lot better. Got some good things done over the weekend. Got to go to the gym today. So I'm hanging in there, man. I'm doing my best. Really no complaints on this side, and I'm excited to be there in the next few days, bro.
Yeah. This is you came 2 exact months ago for your brother's birthday weekend. Anytime you come down here from your vibe, of at least or what you tell me, you get a nice, you either get a reality check of what you do want or what you don't want. So I think maybe in the last 6 months or 60 days of you being down here lately, things have changed mentally and physically for you. So maybe coming back here could be a nice little reset for you. Hang out with the fam and stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I think I need it. I think it'll be good with the holidays and with my mom's birthday and my birthday coming up. So I see a lot of family time in my future.
Yeah, only positives when it comes to that. Um, this episode is officially presented by Broward Vintage. On eBay, the link tree, all that info is in the description on YouTube and on Apple and Spotify. I'm actually rocking. I went inside one of our bins, rocking one of the crew necks, North Carolina throwback. This is an extra large. Fits me nice. I like nowadays I like sweaters and everything to fit me kind of loose. So I'm glad I got me one of these for the episode. Broward Vintage, men, women, kids, whatever. DM him at Broward Vintage on IG if you want to sell him anything. And then of course, unofficially, Billionaires Road to holidays. You got to go to a party. You got to bring a bottle of champagne, bring, a bottle of brandy. There's nothing better than Billionaires Road. All right. So this, for me, this past weekend, we had on this was our second annual Bray Friendsgiving at the crib. Successful again. Bree did immaculate with her cooking, and everybody who brought food did amazing desserts. We had a whole table full of neighbors. We usually have about 20 to 22 people here. I think this time we had 18 at dinner time. And then by the time we got 1 in the morning or whatever, we a few more degenerates came over basically, after midnight to make that number go up. But it was all vibes, all fun.
People coming over after midnight.
Yeah, yeah. So who came over? So we had Dre come by. You know Dre, right? Dre came by. I just I met him a couple years ago, but now I seen him at the Dolphins game last month, and then I seen him again. We exchanged numbers this time. Super cool dude. Shout out. He's awesome. Shrimp came by. We're gonna have him on every time he does. That was his second time coming over the crib to hang out, and we're gonna get him on the podcast for his business, and he's he's gone viral and his business is booming. So we're gonna definitely get him on the podcast. He's starting to get into the podcast game with him and his girl as they do their marketing thing. And also Travis came by, and Travis, my man, he I haven't seen him in a while, but he came into the lab. We were watching I think hockey was at the end of the game or something. This man passed out on the recliner on the right side of the guest spot in the lab recliner. And I thought he was bro. I thought he was joking at first. He made himself comfy. You know how that recliner is very comfy once you scale that bad boy back. He had a pillow and everything. And I swear I thought he was joking. And I tapped him or said, "Oh, you want a blanket?" And he didn't answer me. I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker really." So I think at one point he had a blanket over him. I wish I would have got a picture because he was here for I feel like he was here for no more than 30, 45 minutes by the time he passed out. By the time he woke up, we were out 1:30 in the morning having a catch with the football, all 6 or 7 of us. So good vibe. Appreciate everybody for coming. And I love doing that. I love being able to provide that type of atmosphere and that type of Friendsgiving for me and my friends. So everybody, great. Hopefully, maybe next year you could come out a little early and maybe you could be a part of the third annual. That'd be fun. Come a little early for your birthday. Spend a week, 10 days. Maybe you actually live here by next year. I don't know. I'm forecasting stuff, projecting. Unmute.
Yeah, you're getting a little ahead of yourself there.
I know I am, but I could be selfish.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next week, so I don't know what will be happening in a year from now.
That's what I mean, bro. Life is that crazy. That's what I try to do that when I get stressed out or have anxiety about life. Of like, if I'm not okay with something, I do have to remind myself that there's always a point in, at least I can only speak for my life and me, is like, there's always like random things that happen every single year that make your life obviously sometimes for the negative or worse, or most of the time, sometimes for the better. And you got to appreciate those better times. But we often tally the negative parts. We don't tally those positive outcomes as much as we should. Like I said, this will be a solo episode or a normal episode with no guests, nobody hopping on. So feel free to comment on any topics that you have. We'll keep this episode around an hour, maybe efficient, depending on how the vibe is. We are recording this on Sunday. Did not mention that. November 19th, 2023. Little odd to record on a Sunday. I like it because usually either I go out on a Friday and not a Saturday, or I usually hang out on a Saturday, and easy for me to, get going for having a beverage and chilling and vibing out with you and everybody else on this podcast. Sometimes hard to take that Sunday off and then get back into it on a Monday. So my whole flow of my Sunday was thrown off with recording today, kind of getting into that, like, all right, what do I normally do? It's crazy how we're like creatures of habit. Do you feel like that too? Like if something's thrown off in your week now forever, tomorrow I'm going to think it's Tuesday. I'm going to think it's like my whole week is messed up.
I definitely feel a little different today recording on a Sunday versus Monday. I'm not sure what it is, honestly. It's a different feeling. It's knowing that you had all Sunday with the Sunday night game, and then we were usually recording with the Monday night game on, and then getting home from work. I know, hey, I got to do the pod later. Like today, I was just like,
yeah,
we got to record in like an hour and a half.
Weird. I had to get myself a little amped.
You tagged me in the story, and I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, we are recording tonight. I was like, oh
yeah.
Let me figure some shit out before I fucking go live later on.
There was many times where I totally blanked out that we weren't, and then I had to remind myself, like, oh shit, I got to start posting things. It depends on what's going on in people's lives, but sometimes we have great feedback and great viewership on Sunday nights. But lately we've been recording on Monday. We've had great turnout for that and having a lot of fun. So I'm interested to see what this Sunday night recording will do as far as, people interacting and watching and viewing. Obviously, shout out last week. We had a guest, Cullum. We appreciate him. That was great interview or great vibes, getting to know him a lot. And, I can't wait for us to have a 4-way with us, him and Charlie. And that'll be fun to go back and forth and have those all types of accents on one episode. That'll be kind of wild. Maybe we'll save that for right before they start next season. They usually probably their season, right? If they just ended their season now, they probably start up again like in March, early spring.
I think he said like February, March. I think that's
okay.
what Callum said last
So let's aim for like 2 months from now or something like that. Maybe right before they go into training camp, because sometimes these boys get locked in once they have to get in shape and everything. So we don't want to mess with their schedule.
Yeah, Charlie locked into fishing right now. This man sends me snaps of him fishing every fucking day.
He deserves it. Work hard. He got all the accolades this summer, and well deserved.
In Tampa, he's fishing and golfing every day. I'm like, dog, you're 28. You're 27.
Now he's engaged to a Cuban family, and that's a shock. Obviously being a boyfriend, and I've learned this. Like, being a boyfriend is kind of like nothing. You know, most of the time you don't live together. You know, they have, so I'm not speaking against them. I know them a little personally, as limited as that. But in general, usually when you're in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you don't live together yet, or you don't have bills that are directly tied. So any one of you guys could get out or opt out at any moment, and there's not too much collateral damage. But you know, once you get into the engagement, and now you're really getting to know the family, and now you're a part of the family, like the purgatory stage of marriage, and you're planning, it's stressful. So shout out them, and I'm happy for them, obviously, as they're newly engaged. But we'll have Charlie on, and we'll talk soccer when the American soccer pops back off. But let's get into some topics. What do you have on your end? Obviously, we had our Friendsgiving on Friday. I was cooked at the most extreme all day yesterday. A zombie, if you would.
Yeah, I hit you up
so
and you didn't fucking answer me. And you
bro,
texted me.
I'm telling you.
Shit. You were like, yo, I was napping. I was like, that's the reply that I would send to someone.
Yeah, I'm not a napper. And if I'm napping or in and out, or I'm just like, you know, when you have those hangovers where you stare at a text message, you're like, I could answer this, but like, I don't want to do it right now. So you put your phone back, and then I kept on thinking about it. I was like, all right, I got to get back to like 8 different people right now, text them back. So I got back to everybody late, but let's dive into some fun topics to start off the episode 103. I'll let you lead. I've been talking a lot.
Let's see. I think news of the week was fucking Diddy, bro.
Yes, I like that.
And it was short lived. It didn't last long.
It didn't last long. Surprise, right? It went viral a little. What did it go? Did it go big on? What day did that go big on? Like I said, my days are messed up.
I think it was maybe like
Thursday,
Wednesday?
Friday. Oh, Wednesday, that early. Okay, that middle of the week.
So.
What's your opinion about it? Because I shared a couple opinions about this topic when people were over on Friday. I want to hear your direct with Diddy, and maybe just overall, like with a lot of allegations come out about very successful people. So I want to hear your opinion before I go in on mine.
So for those that don't know, Cassie sued Diddy over some sexual trafficking, sexual allegations.
Alleged.
Stuff that allegedly, yeah. All this kind of stuff that, okay, so yeah, Cassie sued Diddy for rape and sex trafficking, but settles a day later. What I gotta say is, whatever she was accusing him of, he probably did that shit. Because you don't settle something that quick. Diddy did not want the shit to go farther than it already went. With social media, everything pops off. And as some of us know, Diddy is a weird cat. Diddy's a weird dude. He's not the most normal person. And you could be.
I guess you don't get to where he is with being normal, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of stuff in the past that he has said and done that's questionable, and you look at him and you're like, all right. But also, there has to be some kind of limitation as to when you can sue people, bro. You can't wake up one morning and be like, yo, I feel this person did me wrong, which is wrong. I'm not denying that, like, let's say you did me wrong, right? But I can't wake up 20 years later and be like, all right, now I'm going to try and get even because of this.
Capitalize on something.
Yeah, you make it big, you do whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, now Elvis is pretty big. Now let me go ahead and fucking blame him for something he did 20 years ago.
Yeah. Remember that joke he said in the group chat that was a little racial that I didn't realize I said or meant, but I said it anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and send that screenshot. Like I'm sorry, man. I was young then. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking of if that really went down, it would be like, what the fuck, dude? We were boys at that time.
Right. Yeah. No, it's messed up. And I mean, he must have done something, because if he didn't do something, then he's going to try and extend it and try and countersue her for, defamation or whatever. But nah, he did that shit.
Yeah, my
opinion, crazy.
It was going. Obviously, Twitter is one of those things where people shine when bad things happen to people. That's when the memes come out, the videos, the This is when people's business is booming, when big time celebrity news comes out and they take full advantage. But my opinion was this, and I think most people got to realize that you don't become a millionaire. Definitely, you can become a millionaire, in my opinion, right? This isn't everybody. To become a millionaire, you got to work hard, of course, or to become, very successful, you got to work. There's a lot of hard work in general, whatever field or industry you're in. But to put up and we're talking Diddy with billions, and we're talking these highly successful 1 in 1 trillion type people, 1 in 1 type billionaires. You got to be a little crazy, selfish. You got to do some illegal shit. Some of them hopefully are only down to business illegal stuff, but sometimes you act out a crap character. You do some stressful things. What's this? What's that?
They just had Diddy stressing TMZ.
All right, we're showing a video. It could be old. Let that be known. Old. We're showing a video right now. Diddy by it's probably in Miami, I assume, with the water. And looking stressed, but that could be old. That could be about anything. So you got to be careful about these videos. They do take advantage of old posts. And I love that Twitter calls out posts that aren't legit. Like I've seen a couple of videos of Diddy where it was like last year or 2 months ago about something, but it was like Twitter corrects it. Like this post was not yesterday. It was posted on October 11th. So I do appreciate X, Twitter, whatever, calling people out for misinformation when it permits, because there is people that will take advantage, and all they got to do is see a headline or a 10-second clip and be like, oh shit, and take it as Bible. I just think you got to be careful who you idolize, who you worship, who you invest in when you don't know those people. We don't know these celebrities. We don't know these moguls that are trying to sell a book, trying to sell you the recipe for success. But behind the scenes, they most likely have the most skeletons. They have the most to regrets and things about them that you don't know. So I'm big about not idolizing all these people just because they have a lot of money or make a lot of money. There's a lot that goes into it, and I've been around, maybe not people like Diddy money, but I've been around millionaires over the last 5 to 10 years, and for every 10 I know, I'm telling you, 8 or 9 of them are not as they portray, or they're not as great as humans as maybe their social shows or what they shake your hand and smile in your face as. And like I said, I literally can name 10 people that I know are millionaires right now that I've met, hung out with. And I think more than 5 are facing some cases. I won't go into names or people's personal stuff, but they're facing some charges, whether low level or high level, and they deserve the bad that comes to them after whatever they're being accused of, if so true. So when that came out, it was just like another person that is very successful, a lot of money. That we'll see if it's true. We'll see if
there's some Will Smith stuff that came out this week too.
Yes,
wasn't there? He was fucking some guy, or some guy was fucking him.
Jada Pinkett came out in his defense, which is, hey, good for her, I guess.
Surprisingly. Well, I mean, I guess she's got something to lose too in this situation. So
well, I don't think those two will drag each other. I think those two drag each other under the mud so much that I don't think they would drag each other under the mud about false allegations. You know what I mean? Like, they are so open, and almost too open, about the things they say about each other and what they've gone through, which to a degree I do respect. But when something probably comes out as false, I'm sure they have to dead that right away, because things could get kind of ugly. But we'll never know. We'll never know. Also, I don't care if Will Smith has had sexual encounters with another man, just like we talked about with Dwight Howard. If he did, he did. Whatever. Like, who cares? Anything else relating to the celebrity world or news? I'm trying to look.
Look into celebrities as much as they do, and it's weird, bro. I think this whole celebrity thing is fucking.
I got one. Politician George Santos, who is talking about frauds and people that make their life. This guy has been proven time and time again. If you could pull up a picture or any allegation of a thing, just so you get a visual who this person is, because most people don't. Politician allegedly spent campaign money on OnlyFans, Sephora, Hermes, Botox, and more, allegedly. And this guy, he claimed he went to, this is George Santos. What is he? A
Santos, House Representative.
Republican Party, but what is he? Is he in the like what's his official like Congress, something like that? I'm ignorant when it comes to stuff like this, just naming it. Go to Wiki. Okay. In what state? I just want to put it. It might be in New York. Look at him.
Representative, George Santos.
Yeah, so he's gotten proved, so like literally proved.
Through it for the last few years though with some shit.
Bro, this is when lies just come out. He claimed he went to one college, never went to that college. Claimed he's from this, or his family was from this country, was never from that. Like just time and time and again, just being a fraud.
Jewish and Catholic. Did his family members really die in the Holocaust or September 11th? Jesus.
And I think he got caught up in trying to like run trying to run a campaign to please his constituents, as they may say, to put him out as a certain type of person or leader. And obviously we live in the day of Twitter and internet, where I don't know how you could be front and center or a public figure and just lie blatantly. It's okay if you do small little lies that really don't matter. But like when you lie about like what college you went to, where you're from, or where your family's from, or this and that, like that's something people could easily find out. Like quickly, they can find that out immediately. People on Twitter live off that. Like we're just talking everyday people, and then there's like reporters that make that's their living. Oh, he's got a whole list. It's crazy. So people like him, I don't even know how you could lie that much and still be relevant in politics or be responsible for millions of people with your decisions and your votes. Isn't that crazy that this is like blatant, like probably get this guy out of whatever position he's in, but he'll probably remain. He'll spin zone it and buy himself more years in representing our country. That's America, huh?
Yeah. Unfortunately it is, and it's really sad to see how bad we've gotten and how shitty it is.
Frauds after frauds.
What was that fucking quote that Ben said on one of the episodes?
Via like comment, like live chat.
No,
is that what?
When it was on the utility players.
Oh, Ben.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Stinks from the ground up. It was
oh no, I said that. He quoted me saying the fish stinks from the head down or something like that. Yeah. Where usually in a company, if the main guy and the guy's running everything is running some fraud or being a liar, you can best believe the people he hired, the people that person hired, and all the way down, there's fugazi in all of it. So that's why usually these people need to be held responsible, because when they set that tone of they're lying, somebody else knows, and it just trickle down effect from there.
Yeah,
that's what this country.
The wild thing is, we have these people that are doing these like horrible things. They're doing crazy shit, and they're in these positions of power. But then you have a regular person that is doing something nowhere near as bad, and they get way more jail time or way more prison time or way worse consequences than these people. And I agree, they need to be held to some kind of fucking judging, because it's not cool. These are people that are their literal job duty is for the people. They're public servants.
Yeah. Like those are the people that at anything that we accuse people of, whether it's Diddy and stuff like that, those are the people that we should be like, all right, stop what we're doing. Let's make, like, hands down. Those are the people like Diddy. Yeah, he has influence. He has money. He could figure out. But I'm talking politician wise. It's like, all right, we need to stop what we're doing, figure this out ASAP. We can't let another day go by. If said allegations are true or they're being looked into, and it's they get away with it every single time. It's crazy. But we're numb to it at this point, right? You know, we're seeing it every day. You know,
we are. We're numb to that. We're numb to fucking school shootings. We're numb to mass shootings. We're numb to fucking just our country being in shambles. Over the last 4 years, probably a little bit longer now.
100%. I heard.
Bro, it's a fucking shame.
I heard the other day on Rogan, it was like in society, or at least America, when did COVID end? When the Ukraine war started? When did the Ukraine war start? COVID kind of never ended truly, but it ended as far as what we care about and what we're stressing about. When did the Ukraine war end? It hasn't ended, but what did we stop talking about when now Palestine, Israel? It's just like the next thing is just what people complain about. And then you got the LGBTQ community, you know, kind of going into that up in arms.
About Hawaii anymore. That shit still happened.
That was one of the quickest things. That was probably what, a week? That was a week.
If that. Those families are still suffering. Those kids are probably still not found. And
I think we gave $700 per person as relief, or per household or whatever. Yeah. But then we like made an accounting error for Ukraine about like $200 billion. Like, oh, we overcalculated how much we gave them. Yeah. Like, how do you listen to that as any type of human? Just go, what are our priorities? Like, how do we not take care of our own first?
Like, as U.S. citizens, we're so worried about other shit in other countries, and obviously it's going to bring back those people in power money. So that's why they're doing it. But
yeah, it's
we need someone in power that fucking cares about the country, and they're going to put the country first.
Yeah, that's the ideal play there. That's the typical saying that we all think will happen. I feel like if we stop thinking that way, like not that's a great theory, and that's what we all want, but like, I don't know. I think we just got to start with ourselves. If every individual tries to like educate themselves more, be more objective, and then we project it on others and put it, I think that's where we start. You can't, yes, a leader could be caring for America, caring for us, but it still doesn't matter if we don't fucking change our way of thinking and changing how we go about life. You know what I mean? That would just be like, because there's only so many things a president can actually do. Yeah, he has a lot of power, he or she, or it or they, whatever you want to say for the future, but they have a lot of influence, they have a lot of power, but like, there's only so much they could do once they get into power and try to change things. So it's a lot. There was one other thing that had to kind of do. Where is it? I forgot, but it had to do with something like that. But I'll just move on. Maybe I'll remember it. Another topic. Bring it up. I want you to bring up the Snoop Dogg Twitter where he announced, and you could, don't even say it. Just read it. Because I feel like there's something going on marketing wise with this. And I feel like it's not just what it is. So bring it up, because we try to be a visual podcast as much as possible. Watch us on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment.
It's a video?
No, it's just a picture of like what he put out. And it looks like somebody said the other day, I read, it was like before somebody read what the post actually said on Twitter, it looked like a professional athlete retiring or something. Yeah, just go on his Twitter page.
On Snoop's Twitter page?
Yeah, I don't follow him. It just, you know how Twitter works. It just came up. Let's see if I could pull it up and see if it's still there. It probably is. Oh yeah.
He pinned it, I think.
And please read it for the people.
I'm giving up smoke on November 16th after much.
Can you make it bigger?
Pause.
Or yeah, there you go.
Pause. After much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time. Dog, this is the dumbest shit that I've seen in a long time.
137 million whatever views or looks, whatever you want to say. It's a lot. 3 days ago. Hasn't tweeted since.
He's not giving up smoke, dude. He's not.
But it's weird. He said smoke. Think about that. He didn't say smoking. He didn't say smoking weed. So that's why I think it's like a marketing thing where it's like he put that out, and then probably within the next few days we'll see something,
some kind of music,
dealing with some type of product of like what he's going to be selling.
Yeah.
I've given up smoke. That sounds like a weird. That just sounds like a weird headline. Right? That's an awkward. And it's funny because like outside the picture, he quote tweeted or whatever the headline. I'm giving up smoke. Period. It's kind of weird just to say that. Not smoking weed. Not smoking. I'm giving up smoke. So definitely look forward to Snoop Dogg capitalizing because he went from a gangbanger rapper 30, 40 years ago to now doing cooking shows with Martha Stewart and performing on Super Bowl and all these things. And good for him. Everybody loves Snoop Dogg. Nobody out there hates him. But you got to think there's something going on with a product or some type of marketing campaign that he's about to launch.
Yeah, because smoke is probably just smoke, but he could still be fucking vaping. This is such bullshit, bro. Like, if you believe this, it's funny. This man's been smoking his whole life, bro.
This one's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Snoop 1 week after giving up. Like, this is when Twitter's the best. They just come out with and then like somebody's like, it ain't April Fool's.
Talking shit. You got this motherfucker Boosie. Boosie's always on some shit.
I'm interested to see. And that theory of like you can't have kids or you can't procreate while smoking weed, he's proven that wrong. He has a good amount of kids.
What you think about Snoop quit smoking? Anything I'm with, man. I mean, he know what he need better than anybody. I know he gonna gain weight. You gonna think better. Since I don't smoke, I don't get mad as I used to get mad. I think better. I was smoking an ounce a day. Since I don't smoke, man, I think better, bro. My temper control, you know what I'm saying? What you think?
I don't think I smoked an ounce in multiple years.
Bro,
I definitely don't.
An ounce a day. You can't. It's literally physically impossible. You smoke a few backwoods, bro, you're gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it, man.
Sleep, bro.
I really don't. I don't know how people smoke from morning to night all day long.
Smoking an ounce a day is if he's fucking just buying an ounce and he's smoking it, and so is whoever he's chilling with smoking, and they're rolling up these fat ass backwoods that one's a waste of fucking weed.
Yeah, that's harsh on your lungs. All that either backwoods or rolling with blunts. That's super harsh.
Yeah, so that's cap, bro. I don't believe a word they're fucking saying. I'm not selling what Snoop is. I'm not buying.
Me neither. Me neither. I seen it right away. When you see something nowadays and you automatically like, all right, something's up with this. This isn't what it means. It usually is. Smells funny. I recently got gifted from AP the Mike Tyson gummies. They come a 10-pack. I think it's 100 milligrams. So each one is 10 milligrams. And before I went like 6 months without doing gummies because I could kind of go off and on. As I've talked about this, I could kind of start and quit things all the time. And man, compared to like the street ones you get from like somebody in a package, I usually could do anywhere from like, 8 to 12 or 15 in a sitting and be okay, be high and be bodied. These gummies, man, I've taken a 10 and chopped it in half and only done 5. And like I said, I'm a lightweight when it comes to it. They body me to the point where I have to do 2.5 milligrams now because they're so powerful. And the 2.5 is what I used to feel when I used to do 10s with like the street ones. This is obviously medical and you need a card and it's probably a lot more scientific. The street ones are more like, hey, we're mixing it up. We don't know how strong it is. Probably not as strong as you may think. These gummies are getting powerful when it comes to like the medical side of it. And I can imagine the weed too. I've smoked medical marijuana before and the quality stuff from Drew, and it's just so much more quality and better.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the difference. I'm just still weary about it because we've been
Oh,
so
conspiracy.
anti-marijuana. No, I mean, I don't, not really a conspiracy, but as a country, we've been so anti-marijuana for a long time, decades, and now that we see that other people are profiting off of it and have been profiting off of it for just as
Of
long,
course.
now the government wants to get in and tax it and
But that is America,
control it.
right? That's been America
Exactly.
since the inception.
You know, so I feel that whoever is in jail or prison for non-aggressive and non
Not
non-deadly
what is it? Non-violent. Yeah, like
non-violent, yeah, that's what I
non-violent.
was looking
Be
for,
yeah,
non-violent
charges.
crimes
Yep.
that have to do with marijuana. I feel like those people should be not freed, but be put in some kind of probationary period where if they're not doing anything violent, then
Yep.
let them go, because now we got all these all these older white people benefiting off of stuff that non-white people were doing for a while,
Yeah,
and it's kind of fucked up. It's kind of
it really
fucked up.
is.
So we got to figure out something with that. But I mean,
What was it early
I
in the
partook-
year where they? What'd you say?
I partook in the medical stuff, and it is some shit, man.
Yeah,
It's a way different feeling than just weed you buy off the street from your homeboy.
yeah. It's not your father's and your grandfather's weed that they used to smoke. That was 80% grass or mud, or dirt. You know what I mean? What was it earlier in the year?
Snowfruits.
Yeah, stick over. Yeah, the bottom of the bottom. What was it early in the year when they, Biden announced that and it goes back to our last conversation where news breaks about, all right, we're making federally weed legal or whatever it is, and then Biden or the administration is going to free certain type of people. We don't ever get a follow up on that. We don't have a follow up. We don't have a number, right? Like let's say in January of this 2023, they made that announcement. I think it was early in the year, and we talked about it on this podcast. We don't get an update. Were people released? Were people let go? How many people were? And how are we getting those people that were serving years back into society? We just don't get an update. It's a great. That's why it's all politics and all bullshit, because they hit you with the headline, they hit you with the wow, this is great, Biden or whatever party's doing X, Y, and Z. This is great, and they get the votes and they get the whatever for that quarter. But we never hear a follow-up on, did it actually happen? Because things take months and years to just go. It's not like they make a law and boom, the next day people are out of prison. You have to go through the process. I haven't heard anything. Hold on one sec. Let me yell at my cat.
Yeah, no, there's a whole series of bills and shit that has to go through before we can even see any of that. But yeah, no, that goes back to what we were talking about with George Santos. We have to hold these politicians accountable, and things that they say when they're running for office and when they're running to try and get our vote, and then they get our vote, we give them their vote, but then when they get in that position that they were running for, they don't do any of the shit, or they do the opposite of what they were fucking doing. So that's good.
But like I said, it's up to us. It's up to the people.
Either, bro.
It's up to the people. It's up to us. It's like, talk about it. And as much as we're like angry at something about wanting something to happen, we also have to put that same energy. Like I said, I don't really get too worked up about X, Y, and Z anyway, but those same people that do love to protest and talk when it's the greatest time and jump on the bandwagon of, yeah, that's right. Those same people got to follow up and hold people accountable the same way they tried to, be loud the first time. And I think, yeah, Blue is saying Ford's volume's loud. Low. I thought your volume might have been low in my headphones for a while.
I just turned it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I have you pumped up all the way on my. I usually don't have you. I usually don't have you at 100%, but today I had to have you. So check your volumes. Thank you, Blue, for keeping us accountable with that one. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we want to keep this as people hopping in. Obviously, it's Sunday, so people aren't used to us recording on a Sunday and hopping in with us. So maybe you're watching, Denver and Minnesota. Not the greatest Sunday night football game in the world. I have hockey on.
I was surprised.
They were, yeah. It's still Dobbs being the quarterback. Their running back Madison is hurt. Is Jefferson back in this game? I can't see him right now.
I'm not entirely sure.
Let me check.
I don't think so.
I'm sure that had to do with it too. Broncos are cooking a little bit. They're at home. They've been good. He doesn't have a target, so I assume he's not in because that's a guy when he comes off I assume he's not in because if he comes into the game, I assume you want to get him involved right away. But yeah, Minnesota Vikings disappointment, a lot of injuries. That's why hockey's been my savior. Obviously, we have basketball heating up. And I thought about this the other day, and I said it to somebody. I've been watching some hockey documentaries, just getting to know the game a little bit. I like to educate myself just like I did when I learned about F1 and all that. The one thing about hockey that I respect, and I'm telling people, like I'm almost like a promoter of that game that's new to me, is when they talk about news and they talk about the NHL, they only talk about on the ice. They only talk about the game. They don't talk about most of they don't talk about the bullshit, like for example, the game with the Warriors last week or this week, Warriors, Timberwolves, they face each other twice in 3 days or whatever, back-to-back days. And the games were phenomenal. The actual game on the court, both games were great. Ant-Man going off, Gobert, Minnesota having a great season. Warriors, not doing as well. And all you had to talk, yes, obviously the choke and this the scrum was a big deal. But you watch it on ESPN or whatever, and you don't watch any of the highlights. They don't show any of the highlights. You don't even know who won. Like I guarantee you the average basketball fan that watched SportsCenter this week or First Take, whatever, and watched all like the episode probably don't even know the result of the game because all they focus on was a 2-minute thing where Draymond Green gets suspended. And I'm like tired of it. Maybe it's I'm getting older and I'm getting old where I don't want to hear about bullshit about like, okay, how many times do I have to watch Draymond choke Gobert? And for me personally, it's like, it's over. Like, all right, he choked him. They got thrown out, technicals, and then move on. But like you milk it. You constantly just have to show it over and over. And it's like, I just want to watch actually the game too. I want to know who won. I want to know the stats from the game. And in hockey, as far as I know, from what I've been watching all season long, I haven't missed one fucking Panthers game this season yet. And it's just like all about hockey. It's not about the bullshit. It's not about anything off the ice or off, business wise. It's all about the players, the game, and moving forward.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that's because the NBA has a lot more attention right now?
Well, I think that's why the NBA is big, is because they talk about a lot other than, the NFL and NBA are as marketable and as big as they are because they don't only talk about what goes on the field or the court, right? It's kind of one of those like catch-22s or like kind of that ironic part where it's like they're so marketable. They are individuals. In hockey, what I've learned or what I've seen is it's all about the team. There's not too much in the individual aspect of hockey. It's not like actually in your own locker room and in the league, it's looked down upon if you make it about yourself, if you showboat, kind of like baseball in a way where like if you showboat, make it about you. But like I think baseball is trying to find that medium of making it about their stars or trying to, with Shohei, Aaron Judge, and stuff like that. But hockey's like totally team aspect. There's not many egos. I think there's probably more egos in the 90s with the rough and tough guys, but there's no more of those guys in the league anymore. And I think that's kind of why the NHL does suffer, because they don't have individuals, they actually stick to, being a team. Don't make it about yourself. Don't cause yourself too much attention. Always give credit to the other person. And I love that. And as I get older, I'm like, I fucking love that. I'm tired of the individuals of these games because I love the sport, because as a Brooklyn Net fan, I just watched 3 individuals almost ruin my organization for 3 years. Like it was exciting when KD and Kyrie came, and it only took 2 years for one, if not all 3 almost ruined the franchise, and they could have easily. Some better than the other 2 or 3, but like, what the fuck are we doing? Are we playing? Are we playing sports? We're hooping, or we're worrying about our next move and our next deal and how I look on social media? Oh, what am I wearing to the game? Do I like? You look at somebody like Kuzma. Kuzma looks like he cares more, and like I said, he probably doesn't. But perception, right, is reality. He looks like he thinks for hours more about what he's wearing to the game than how he's going to prepare for the game. And like I said, he probably works his ass off. He definitely does, obviously, to be in the position he is. He's young, under 30. He's probably going to get another big contract here soon. But, like, it's just like when you want to hoop and you want to play, you don't make it about yourself. This guy's showing up on big-ass, like, goofy fucking outfits and shit. And that's cool. That's great for Twitter. Cool for your swag. Cool for you to date the next model that's going to give you anxiety and depression. And then you're going to, go off and, like, be sad and for the rest of your life. But like, we're not getting individuals in these sports that actually are like dogs, true dogs of the game that fucking only care about playing hoops or on the field. And it's sad. Like I said, I'm generalizing, but you feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah, no, I feel where you're coming from, but also they have to build their brand somehow. And
I get it.
Kuzma was on the Lakers, and he wasn't like first or second, maybe third option, third fiddle on that team. Granted, he won a ring, but then, he gets traded. He probably feels slighted. He goes to Washington, D.C., where it's not basketball.
But shouldn't you care about winning? If you win, you will become more marketable.
In the place he's in, you're not going to do much winning. Washington hasn't won anything in our lives. Why would they start now?
See, well, that's a mentality that we should get away from. That's a mentality where I agree with you to an extent, but that's the type of shit that we should be getting away from. Like, he should be going to Washington and being like, I'm so focused now. I'm the best player on this team.
Hey,
same thing with Buddy that just came to the team.
Jordan Poole.
Who's Jordan Poole. He's another dude that's like on the court doing like weird shit, throwing back
playing together
off the backboard alley-oops when they're down 20, shooting like pull-up step back threes when you're down. It's just weirdo type behavior. And it's like, I don't think they even know what they're doing. I think they're just so enabled and so out of the loop where they're always going to be losers. Huh?
Did you see the video of Poole not even looking at the play?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so to counter on that, okay, so this is why I know that Jordan Poole didn't learn shit, and he's exactly what I'm talking about. You go to Golden State, and you get to spend all that time with Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry. I'm not going to bring up Draymond, those two. Stephen Curry has built the brand while absolutely hooping. And I'm saying he has a gift that's one of one. I get it. One of two, maybe, ever in the world. But he was able to hoop, focus on hoop, but also build a brand. You could do both at the same time and yet still concentrate on winning. How did Jordan Poole go to Golden State, win a championship, spend all that time with those two individuals for years, and not take that and want to go to his own team, whether you go to Washington or whatever, and go, all right, I'm not going to be Stephen Curry, I'm going to be myself, but I'm going to focus and look like I want to win, and that's all I care about. Why is that so fucking hard to believe? Why is that like even a question of like, you got to be an idiot if you spend all that time with those two great athletes of all time, shooter wise or like personalities and also character, and then go to Washington being a shithead. It speaks about you. I would never give Jordan Poole $1. 100%. Like, there's no way. It's said in business. You hang around people that make money and are successful, you watch their habits, you should at least learn something from those habits or in development. And I'm sure, somebody that we had on last week, Cullum, like, he could probably say the same. You hung around great soccer players, you're going to want to become better, or you naturally become better because you watch these people that are better than you and you go, okay, I get it. Not let me, I average 25 points a game, and also I could show off my swag and how cool I am, and I could bag the shorty in the first row. Good for you. Like, you're not like, no, Okay, cool. Then live and die in Washington because that's all you'll ever be. I'm getting mad because this shit frustrates me, which leads me back. That's why I fucking love hockey. Yeah, I went through it. I did go through it, and I've been going through it for the last couple of years, and now I got to watch an average basketball team like the Nets that play hard, and I love it, and it's probably my favorite team in the last couple of years, only because I see what they do on the court and they try, but it's like, Jesus Christ, what the and speaking of KD and all that basketball, like he goes to Phoenix, and look, Bradley Beal hasn't played a game yet. He was supposed to play this week, didn't. He's out now another few weeks, so now he's going to miss the first 2 months of the season. Devin Booker gets hurt. He'd come back. He's a stud, but like they traded their depth and their bench. So just like the Nets, once you lose one or two of those three, you're dealing with guys that are on G League contracts and playing for a contract that good luck to that. In the West, it's very hard to win. So God bless you, KD. You're going through it too, brother.
That's why I appreciate the Miami Heat and how they handle business and how they've been able to handle business.
Good point.
For such a long time.
Heat culture.
It sucks sometimes because we don't go after these guys, these whales that people like to call them on Twitter, but most of the time it's for a reason. And whether or not they may be superstars or not, they just don't fit in with what the Miami Heat want to do, not just as a basketball team, but as an organization, because I think they represent themselves in a different way. I think the Heat look at themselves more than just a basketball team and what they do for the city of Miami and pretty much the state of Florida. Because there's Heat fans all over the world. So sometimes we take it for granted, but we really gotta sit back and kind of appreciate what we have with Miami since we're talking about basketball.
Yeah. And you guys have consistency. Nothing has changed in 20 years from ownership to GM to head coach. And once you have that solidified, everybody else has to follow. So many organizations like the Nets, they have had 4 head coaches in 6 years. Like they've had 1 GM in the last 10, which is, a good start, or 8 years, which is a great start. But you get these organizations that you got a short leash, and I get why. The Giants, the New York Football Giants, where they've had 4 coaches in 5 years or 4 coaches in 6 years. They have had 3 GMs in the last 10. It's hard to get some things flowing and going when you don't have, like you said, the fish stinks at the top, and it's like everything's fucking trickling down to the play on the field and the court. So the Heat culture uniforms are
they're kind of growing on me.
They're not bad. I don't like what they wrote in the paint.
I like it.
Of course you do. You're a fan. It's a lot of corny. It's very corny. It's like
live, laugh, love.
Because in my opinion, if you live, laugh, love, it's very live, laugh, love. Because in my opinion, if you're trying to be that organization that's like, we're just about hoop and ball and you don't have to write it on your fucking court. You know what I mean? So like, you could have just stick to the Heat culture of it, and everybody understands what that means who watch basketball. You didn't have to write, we are better. It basically looks like how I translate is like, we're better than you because we do this. We're better than you because we do that, and not this and this. And it's like, you didn't have to go about that. Just Heat culture alone just says what it means. And if you have to Google it, you could Google it, or you could ask your Heat friend, Heat fan friend, or something like that. But
they'll let you know. They'll let you know what Heat culture.
Yeah,
is.
just watch a game. What's Heat culture? Watch a game. That should be like in the paint instead of like that. Heat culture. Watch us, or like
watch the game.
Something like that. Real quick, F1 in Vegas was a spectacle visually, but all the racers were complaining. They had to stop the first practice because the manholes were coming up all like, I think they had like over 50 or 30 or something like that. In Vegas, they had to shut down the strip. The race was on at 1 a.m. last night. A shit show. The racers didn't like it because it was too glitz and glamour for them and not about racing. I don't know. It was weird. Because it's
supposed Buffer announcing the races, and They did my dog Bruce wrong with that, man.
Yeah, you know what it is? I don't think that, like I saw one clip. Pull up, do Bruce Buffer and just type in Bruce Buffer and Perez. And look how awkward this is. You want to talk about cringe? And it sucks because someone should tell the racers how it's going to go. Like Bruce Buffer, when he announces your name, he gets in your face. And I don't think the racers thought, I think the racers thought he was going to interview them or something. And I'll just let the video speak for itself. It is, yeah.
I saw this and it was pretty cringe.
Yeah, let me make this bigger out here.
Perez!
He thought he was going to interview him. Look. Where do I go? Who's directing me? No one's directing him. So much is going on.
I think
Bruce is a professional.
The triple one.
And Bruce is a professional. He knows what to do. Keep it moving.
I think the guy even says, "What am I supposed to do?"
Yeah, because I think at that point they were so fed up about how much like obligations they had to do, because obviously it's Vegas's first time hosting an F1 race, and they have a 10-year deal. They just did too much. You know how like less is more? Vegas, it's like more is more. More is always more in Vegas, and sometimes it's like you're overdoing it to the point where the race is being like third fiddle to everything that's going on. It's like it should be the race that matters most, and it did get pushed to the side, I think, in my opinion. I have yet to watch the race itself. I'll try to watch it tomorrow. But from what I got on Twitter and social media, the drivers didn't like it, and I don't think the fan feedback was good about all the bullshit that they had.
Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter about it. People were pretty upset and just saying how bad it was. I don't really watch it too much, but
yeah,
I saw today.
Don't start this race by watching it for the first time.
Today that it was at 1 a.m. and I was like, what the fuck? Why would they?
Yeah. Well, they usually do it on Sunday, and I guarantee you they did it because obviously in America on the East Coast, Vegas is 3 hours back. So at 1 a.m. it's 11 there, but I guarantee you they wanted to hit the markets of like the east of the world. You know what I mean? Like Saudi Arabia and all that. So at that time, it's in the morning over there. So what I'm thinking is they could hit the West Coast people with having a 11 o'clock race. Fuck the East Coast people in America, but they were trying to obtain to Europe and everything else. Because in Europe, 1 o'clock, it's 7, 8 a.m. In Saudi, it's probably 9, 10. So they wanted to make sure that whoever paid for all this, which is probably not American companies, that they got to watch it live in a reasonable time, and they didn't really. So I think it's a shit show overall, and that whatever. I'll watch the race tomorrow, and it looked from the looks of it like a good.
They didn't have their 5 Ps.
5 Ps were non-existent. They were non-existent when it comes to that. That's it on my end. As far as topics, I like that we're about an hour episode. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, locking in. But any topics or anything you got on your end, trending, what you're doing, kind of on your end, you can shoot the shit down.
I don't really have many topics. I do want to give a special shout out to BULLRING podcast.
Yeah.
I want to give a special shout out to Savannah Hurricanes, the basketball team down here in Savannah. I got to go to one of their games yesterday, and it was a pretty cool experience because it was my first time going, so I really wasn't sure what to expect. It was high level hoops, man. It was good hoops. The Hurricanes killed it, bro. They were shooting threes like the Warriors, like primetime Warriors, man. It was fun. What the BULLRING podcast does, man, is pretty fucking cool, bro. They're pretty much there courtside. They got their whole setup. They got their camera. They got their mics. They got their headphones, and they're not just doing play-by-play, but they're also kicking the shit with each other, talking a bunch of shit, making jokes, cracking jokes, and then they're interviewing people. They interviewed the owner. They're interviewing some other people of the team. They interviewed some people in the crowd. So what BULLRING podcast is doing is pretty sweet. I got to network with them a little bit, and I'm going to most likely get on their show. They said that next time they have a home game, they're going to have a setup for me.
Oh, sweet.
They're gonna bring in like an extra mic with headphones for me. So all
Oh,
three
yeah.
of us can get on there and talk some shit, and it'd be a lot better. I was able to get in like 2-3 minutes with them and what they were doing, and then we just talked after the game. So I feel like a lot of content is going to be dropped with them in the near future, and I think that's going to be cool. And I'm looking forward to it. And shout out Prep for hooking it all up, man. This dude I met at the gas station, we kicked it for a little bit, talked, let him know I had a podcast. He told me what he was doing, and he put me in contact with them. And I'm excited for it. Hopefully it blossoms and it turns into something that could help us out. And they said that they're down to get on the pod as well. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm excited for that.
We'll make that happen. Yeah, that was dope. We haven't talked about it off.
It was tough,
off
man.
stream, but
it was tough because you got the crowd, the people behind you, crowd making noise, talking, doing whatever, and they're just sitting there courtside doing their shit, man. And it was cool. It was impressive to see. I was a little, I don't want to say I wasn't prepared, but I just wasn't ready for really what it was going to be. And
yeah, like going there, maybe scouting it out first, and then
Yeah,
trying to
scout it out for
broadcast
sure.
or something. Yeah.
I scouted it out for sure. I'm gonna try and figure something out. Maybe they have like some kind of link where I could stream the game, share the game as I'm talking about it, or some shit like that. But with one person, man, it's hard. So their next game is December 2nd. Their next home game is December 2nd. So I'm gonna try my best to be in attendance, and I'm looking forward to that because it's good for content, bro. It was pretty neat. Get to know the players.
Yeah. Right in your backyard.
Shit like that. So yeah, it was like 20 minutes for me, man. So
Sweet.
Not far at all.
Yeah, we appreciate them putting together that little mixtape for us. That was a shock. I didn't know where that came from or whatever, and I figured we'd talk about it here, which we did. And yeah, that was dope. That was how they were able to, however they did it. Maybe I could learn. Somehow they pulled all of our videos that we had on Instagram all into one little mixtape, and with some, that was very cool, and we appreciate that creativity and that sentiment, and hopefully we get to share that back when either we have them on or make something about it in the future.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna happen. It's just it's two of them, and he told me they do a few different things where they host their podcasts and where they go and whatnot. So very like-minded, man. They just got it out the mud. They want to create something for themselves. They want to build a brand. They have an idea of what they want to do, and they're kind of just like in the same lane where we are. And go follow them on fucking Instagram, bro, for what the stuff they're putting out and the content they have and how professional they are with everything they have. They don't have the following they deserve, bro. I'm telling you right now, go follow them. They're doing their thing. The @ is BULLRING Podcast. Bull, BULL, Ring Podcast. Follow them, link up with them, and they're doing work just like we are. So you gotta respect that shit.
Yeah, I'll throw their Instagram and their podcast in the info in the description in the timeline. So look for that on the YouTube, and obviously if you listen on Apple or Spotify. Anything else on your end?
Dolphins, baby.
Oh.
7-3.
Yep.
7-3. Let's get it. We got
that was
on Friday. Black Friday.
Nice gritty. Oh yeah, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah, first one. But yeah, no.
Today was a gritty win. Yeah,
definitely.
see, boom.
Offense didn't look that great. Tua still kind of did his thing. He threw for over.
I think you need a couple of those games. You need a couple.
100%.
You're facing a Raiders team that's 2-0 since letting go of their head coach.
The Raiders
They were going to be tough coming in. So
yeah, they may not have all the superstars. I mean, obviously they got Devontae and they got Max Crosby, but
yeah, they got talent.
And they were playing hard. They're playing hard for their new head coach, and it's definitely a shift in culture, a shift in everything in that organization right now after letting go, your coach that was dragging you down and not doing the best for you.
These are the dog days of the winter, as they say, dog days of the summer in baseball. It's, sometimes you're gonna want to get tested. You hope to not get tested by the worst of the worst teams. Obviously, you guys handled the worst teams in the league, and that's how you have 6 wins. But this one win, I think personally, was one of your best wins of the season. Obviously, you could say, "Oh, the 70-20." Like, yeah, okay, that was pretty cool, right? But this one, when you talk quality and like what, as far as what I've seen is, you survive a win, a team that definitely wanted to beat your ass and is on trying to make it up in the AFC with a new head coach, and and all those players are playing for each other. That's why it was a great win, in my opinion. Quality win. So I like that you guys battled.
Is looking like Jalen, bro.
Yep.
Jalen's back.
Yeah, he lost. What did he lose?
Washed.
He didn't get hurt, right? He just lost his win or something like that at the last interception.
He was running off the field.
Okay, good.
Pumping the crowd up. So
yeah.
When you have a player like that, man, he's a difference maker. It doesn't matter what scheme you're in. It doesn't matter what play it is. It doesn't matter what game, anything like that. When you have someone like Jalen Ramsey, he covers his side of the field, his quarter of the field, whatever, to a T. And he had 2 picks today. He's got 3 picks in 3 games with us. He's only allowed 5 catches. So they were saying he's getting scout team reps. He's doing his best to get back to 100% and all that. Obviously, he's working. He's grinding, and he still doesn't really know the playbook. And I mean, no, he knows the playbook, but
he'll only get better as far as the scheme and everything. Yeah.
Our defense looks good, man, and we're gonna need our defense more than we're gonna need our offense, because I think our offense is gonna go. Our offense is gonna be all right. We're gonna have possessions where we're gonna score on 2 or 3 plays just because we're that explosive. But when we play the Chiefs, when we play the Bills,
these cold weather teams, you're gonna have to buckle down.
We're gonna need that defense to show up, and it has been showing up the past few weeks. So I'm definitely excited. We just
100%. And for you, you're gonna be, so obviously we have this week Thursday is Thanksgiving. Friday, Black Friday. Your birthday's on Monday. Do you have a date or a day that you're gonna come down here? I'm still trying to figure out what we're doing for this weekend.
Down there Tuesday night.
Oh, Tuesday night. I brought this up last week, and we could talk off air because we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. We potentially could be away for Thursday and early Friday, but I didn't buy tickets for the Boston Bruins. If you don't have plans Wednesday night, if you wanted to come to the game, we could talk about that.
Okay.
Maybe go to a Bruin, because Bruins are the best team in the league, and then the Panthers are second in their division to them. So that'll be a great game. So we'll talk tickets right now. I think I have a discount for like $20 off. So we could pay like maybe $40, $45 a ticket, and then free parking, and then buy a couple beers there. We already have it schemed out. So Giants went off today. Yeah, we could talk about it. I want to buy tickets probably either tomorrow or Tuesday.
I got my shift covered for Tuesday night, so I can leave Tuesday after my day job and just drive down there, bro. Be there.
Okay, so you'd get here Tuesday night?
Yep, yes, sir.
Gotcha. So basically Wednesday would be your day. Okay, cool. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to put it on you. We're probably like 75% me and Bree going. So we'll talk about it. Are we recording? So people know 104. Would we record next Sunday or Monday? Monday's your birthday, so it's up to you.
So Sunday's my mom's birthday and Monday's my birthday. I'm driving back Monday, so we'll talk more as
we'll figure it out.
More of an idea of what I got going on.
Of course.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know. We'll figure it out. But anything else on your end to end recap 103? Huh?
No, I got nothing, man.
All right.
I appreciate you, dog. I love you, man. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, man. I'll see you. Yeah. It'll be fun. I'll make it. What?
I said thank you for everything you do.
Thank you for everything you do. Yeah, I'll see you hopefully Wednesday, and we'll hang. We'll have some content coming your way, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. Listen to us if you're in the car on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your audio. And as my laptop is about to die, perfect timing. That is 103. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama. Who's that?
Fucking Charlie.
That's funny. He said that to you?
Fish. Yeah, he
just
sent it to me now.
103.
From the head down.
There you go. Enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace. Appreciate y'all.